The hard right edge of every single chart, every single one of them, that hard right edge, that's the retail drowning pool. You see so many traders now. Go on social media. Look, there's stories of regret and woe. I blew my accounts. I lost my funded account. I failed the combine. I don't know what happened on Friday. Why was the market so hard on Friday? Why was the market so choppy this week? The market was trash this week. That's the retail drowning pool, that hard right edge. They want to believe in their fairy tales and myths about why price does this and does that and what indicator causes it to go up and down. But none of them spend the time, like I've been teaching you, to focus on when it's going to be less likely for you to succeed. You're not romancing the uncertainty. You're removing any emotion about that hard right edge. You're looking at, why would price go up? Why would price go down? Who is it going to hurt? Because that's what this game's about. It's about taking. It's about overtaking and devouring. That's what it's all about. It's nothing else but that. And your indicators are going to crunch numbers and spit out some data that you're going to subscribe a religion to. If you're a retail-minded thinker, you're placing faith, almost to the degree and level of religion, over these indicators. Like they're somehow going to cause price to bend to their will. Stochastic says you got to go up. RSI diverged. That means you can't go any lower. You cannot go any lower. You might as well just start going up right now. I used to talk like that to my charts. As a 20-year-old, I said, there's no way they can keep going down. It's diverged twice. It's been oversold for hours. It has to go up now. Everybody sees the same thing, so they got to be doing what? Buying it up. And everybody buying it up should cause it to go higher. Yep, that was me being religious about price action. And that was also me losing money. That hard right edge is no longer scary to you. Because you understand where you're at in price relative to the dealing range, the seasonality, what month of the year you're in, what week of that month you're in, what day of the week you're on, what the economic climate is for that week because of the economic calendar. And you're learning how to navigate uncharted waters. You don't know if there's any rocks just beneath the surface that might strike the bottom of your vessel and cause you to sink, but you're not obsessively worrying about that either. You're exploring the uncharted territory of your future self. And while that is exciting, you have to tame that overzealous nature that, like a child waiting on Christmas morning, they can't wait to get up and see what St. Nicholas left them under their tree. What presents are the market makers going to lay in your hands today is a profitable trade? The market maker doesn't let you sit on his lap and ask for what you want for Christmas. It's designed to consume you. So when you adopt the mindset that cannibalizes retail thought, then you are out of its reach. You're just outside of the influence and the religious perspective held over price that indicators and retail logic presents. It takes more faith for people to believe in those things than it is to simply study price action naked and study it through the lens of time and price, inefficiencies, liquidity, seasonality, all those things that are factual influences. These are things that really have an influence and effect over price, and they can be scheduled. as a time when you're going to engage the marketplace, because there's an economic calendar that you can look at and say, hey, there's going to be a lot of volatility this day. This specific day of the week, there's going to be lots of volatility that day. And if it happens to be on the latter half of the week, well, you understand now that the cleanest price action is going to be where? At the front of the week. And the retail crowd, the casino goers, the gamblers, the less informed street money is going to be out there on Thursday and Friday pressing really hard to try to do something amazing when the market's more likely to do nothing in their favor but hurt them. Do you want to be in a market that has difficulty? The difficulty in producing low resistance liquidity runs, where the market just runs quickly, expediently, right to your targets with very little, if at all, retracements. Hardly any consolidations, barely any pause whatsoever. It just runs quickly and goes right to your target. Or do you want to be in a market that has to be babysat? And you're constantly concerned about, is this retracement going to be one that stops me out and then eventually goes in my favor later on? That's trading in high resistance liquidity runs. See, there's a benefit in understanding the lay of the land. Knowing how that economic calendar is going to impact future price, days that haven't even started yet. You're looking at these things on the weekend, anticipating how the week's going to be problematic on certain times and days. But retail's not thinking that way. They go in and they're hoping that their harmonic patterns are lining up. They hope that they're seeing their indicators become oversold or overbought. They're waiting with bated breath that their moving averages are sloping in the direction they want to be buying or selling in. Where you are different. You're calm. You're calculated. You're patient. But the professional mindset, now let's be honest, okay? You're trading as a retail trader. But I'm training you to think unlike a retail trader. You have to trade as a retail trader in a retail brokerage account, but you're not thinking like every retail trader is. So you're thinking like smart money. You are a retail trader, but you're not thinking like a retail trader. You're not falling victim to the nonsense that these individuals subscribe to as the reasons for why price goes up and down. You're not doing that. You're not making those foolish assumptions over price. That because it looks like some kind of animal pattern, some kind of geographic pattern connecting the dots and trend lines, and therefore it makes some kind of a illustration, like a horoscope. You're looking at the real factors why price goes up and down. By having a diametrically opposed perspective than that of the less informed traders, the ones that place their religious belief and faith in things that are external to why price goes up and down, and focusing primarily on when the watering hole will lure the prey, when they're not thinking they're going to be consumed and they think everything's safe. It's okay for me to go down there and get a drink at the watering hole. Everybody's drinking from the watering hole. This is where all the volatility is. This is where all the movement's going to take place. It's gapped open. This gap opens. It's strength. It's underlyingly bullish. I'm going to chase it because I feel like the market's bullish. And who knows how to time the market? So you might as well just go in and start buying it when it's proven itself being strong. And now contrast that with, we gapped open higher. Let me measure how we are opened compared to where we settled yesterday at 414. Where's that midpoint? And you're anticipating that. You're not getting giddy. You don't have butterflies in your stomach when you look for that information. You're not all hopped up on goofballs, and you're not anxious and scared that it's going to fail that day. You're expecting the statistical probabilities to fall in favor like it has in the past. This is where it's most probably going to go. Now, that's not a guarantee, because a guarantee would be, well, just get short if it's gapped open higher. Don't even bother with a stop loss, because you're going to be right. You wouldn't do that. But contrast that with the indicator following crowd that sees an opening gap higher and they want to be long. And because they don't know how far it could retrace, they just want to be long because they're afraid they're going to miss the move. They don't put a stop loss on because they romance the uncertainty. It's going to work out for them. Everything's going to work out for them this time. They may have lost money in the previous 20 trades and they're on the last leg of losing their account, failing their funded combine, losing their funded account, losing the last bit of money in their live account. And they're going to ignore all caution. And they're just going to roll the dice because they're romancing the uncertainty of their profitability. And they're only looking at it with rose-colored glasses where it can only work in their favor. That's what they're telling themselves. They're lying to themselves. And you're not learning how to do that. You're learning how to look at the marketplace and say, well, the markets are likely to go all over the place any given day. You won't have any control over price. But I'm going to go in looking for this scenario. I'm going to look for this type of thing to form in price at this time of day. And I'm going to be looking for weak-handed traders to hold a opposing view to mine. And I will see that as advantage. I will see that as I am about to take prey. I'm about to eat. I'm about to fill my belly with less informed traders' equity. I'm about to consume someone's stop and use it as an entry mechanism. I'm about to take over someone's profitable trade. They will be neutralized and removed from it, and I will be properly positioned to capitalize on the profit run. That's what I train. I train predatory mindset. I'm teaching you how to be a carnivore, not just someone that can run fast and evade being stopped out and taking losses. I'm teaching you how to be the stop eater, the consumer of retail stops, the consumer of less informed traders' equity. It's war or survival of the fittest. That's what this is. And retail traders, by far and large, they have silly little things that they believe in that do not make price go up or down. And they don't even understand when the market is going to be hard for them. And the ones that are the loudest on social media, they're the ones that complain the most when the market's difficult. But you're learning why the markets are difficult. And you're learning that you don't need to be in them. Sit still. Let everybody else go down there and lose a leg, be dismembered and completely torn apart because they don't understand that it's not safe to get in there. And these same individuals that are recklessly going in with over leveraged trades because they want to be able to go on social media and say, look at that guy said, ICT said, don't trade on here. And look what I did. But they're hiding the replay button at the top of their cutout. They'll crop that out and they'll show you the arrows, but they won't show you the execution values because the execution values, you can see that they're not the same as a live execution. But they think that they're getting over on you. Good trade, so-and-so. Great trade, so-and-so. But no live execution. No before the fact. And always market replay. They're lying to themselves and they're lying to people that watch them. I'm teaching you to look for people that are going to have no problem whatsoever showing you live, showing you before the fact, explain why it's going to do it. I have students doing that. In the trading community, by far and large, my students, the people that use my stuff, they're the ones that have the balls, the brass, the moxie that go out there and say, I ain't got a problem, I can show you to you. And they're not afraid of losing either. That's confidence. That is exactly what you want. Not, I hope my indicator works. Or waste time like I did for years trying to find the optimal settings. If you're constantly worrying about or listening to someone teaching you how they're going to optimize their indicator settings, If it needs optimization, that's form fitting, and form fitting is bullshit. It either works or it doesn't. If you're constantly having to tinker something, you don't have something that works. If you have a necessity, a need for something, always changing the settings. What's your settings on your MACD? What's your settings on your slow stochastic? What's your period overbought and oversold for RSI or CCI? What did you use today? What time frame are you using? All that is just to make you feel like, oh, if I would use that, then I could have made money. They're romancing the uncertainty. They're looking for the love story and all this stuff. And it's not a love story. It's not. It's a horror story. So we look for that. We look for that very thing in traders. Retail logic. Oh, let me see. Can I get devoured and destroyed and have my head completely cleanly removed from my shoulders if I take this trade doing this? If we can identify how retail traders are going to think like that, at the very moment when smart money concepts are saying, that's a mistake. That person's about to be a statistic. That's the person in the body count of this movie. It's about, the body count's about to go up right now. At this moment, right now, retail body count, it's about to go up because they see this. They're looking for that to unfold when you're looking for the opposite. You're sitting still when you know that the market is unfavorable. Doesn't mean you can't take a trade. Doesn't mean you couldn't get lucky if you got in there and did something. It just means that why would you want to do that? Why would you want to trade on a condition or in a condition where you're going to be more inclined to hope and pray that you're right or have regret that you even pushed the button at all versus this is the right market climate. I have everything in my favor. The market's going to be volatile. It's going to be in low resistance liquidity run conditions. It's not going to be in high resistance liquidity run conditions. That means I'm going to have everything in my favor. At the same time, retail is going to be looking for the opposite. You've checked all the boxes. That's high probability trading. And friends and family, listen. That is not an everyday instance. That is not an every session instance. It's not. It is absolutely not. So when you hear these jokers say, every day is a trading day to be profitable, and they try to entice you to do more than you should. If you're brand new, you don't know what you're doing, you don't have a model, and you don't have the ability to trade on your own steam, that means you don't care what ICT says. You don't care what any of my students are thinking. You're not looking to go onto YouTube or watch live streamers. You're not looking to subscribe to anybody's service. You're looking at your own charts and you know exactly what you're doing. That's what you want.